Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to go over my rod and reel arsenal for the 2024 season. For the 2024 season, I plan on fishing a local club tournament. It's actually a club that I started back in 2021. It's called the Henry County Bass Masters. Also, I plan on fishing some of the Bass Federation events. Hopefully qualify for the Ohio Bass Federation National Semis and then qualify for the Federation National Championship. But we'll see how it goes. And I also plan on fishing just a couple BFLs. It'll be the first time I fish the BFLs in quite some years, and I just want to get back to it. So let's go ahead and break down the rods and reels that I plan on using this season to hopefully accomplish my goals. Alright, first off, before we get into this, I just want to apologize for my neighbor's dog. That thing never shuts up, so you're probably going to hear it in the background for most of this video. Also for this video, I'm going to do this a little bit different than how most people do it. I got all my combos in my rod locker, and I'm just going to pull them out. And whichever one I pull out, that's what we're going to talk about. There's not going to be any rhyme or reason to it. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, the first combo I have in my hand is one of my spinning combos. And this spinning combo is the Diawa Champion XP spinning rod. This one is a 7-foot medium fast rod, and I have it paired with a 2500 spool Abu Garcia Revo rocket. This is my all-purpose do everything combo. So with this combo here, it's mostly going to be shaky heads, but I like throwing any type of a heavier Texas rig on here. Anything up to a 3/8 ounce I actually throw on a spinning line, just because I really like using spinning combos. So anything like a heavier Texas rig or a shaky head or anything like maybe even a swimming worm, that's what this rod is used for. Alright, the next rod we got, this one is a casting rod that I actually built myself. So this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast, and for all you rod builders out here, it's built on the MHX MB843 blank. So this one I have paired with an Abu Garcia Revo SX reel. This one's a 7-to-1 gear ratio. This one is just a general purpose rod. So it just kind of depends on what the bite, what I'm planning on fishing with it. I can throw anything from a crankbait to a spinner bait, a chatterbait, swim jig, anything like that. That's what this is going to have. I have it spooled with 12-pound fluorocarbon. Again, all-purpose type of line for an all-purpose type of setup. And I forgot to mention on that first rod, that is spooled with 10-pound fluorocarbon. So the spinning rod with the Abu Garcia Revo rocket spinning reel, that one is the 10-pound fluorocarbon. This is 12-pound fluorocarbon, and again, it's just a general purpose do everything rod. Alright, rod number 3 here. This one is again a rod that I built myself. This one is a 6'11" medium composite rod. So this is half graphite, half fiberglass, and this is specifically made for me to throw my square bill crankbaits on, or any of my small square bills like the 1.0, the 1.5s, or anything like a light crankbait. This one is built on the MHX CCB 834 blank. I love this rod. It's got a very soft tip to it. It's very light, balances extremely well. The reel of choice is the Abu Garcia Revo Premier. This is a 7-to-1 gear ratio, and this one has 10-pound fluorocarbon on there, just because usually when I'm fishing my crankbaits, I like to use the lightest pound I can just so I can get them as deep in the water as I can. Alright, so the next rod we got here, this one is actually a rod that I don't know if I'm actually going to be using a whole lot of. This is the 13 Fishing Fate Black, the lime green version. This is a 7.3 medium heavy fast. Again, it's a general purpose do everything rod for me. I actually have this one paired with the old school green Shimano Corrado. This is a 6-to-1 gear ratio, so it's a little bit slower, but again, it's there specifically so that I can fish the spinner baits, chatter baits, or swim jigs. That's typically what's going to get thrown on a rod like this. I like it with the 12-pound fluorocarbon that's on it. The 6-to-1 gear ratio makes it a little bit slower, so I can fish a little bit slower if I need to. Alright, this combo here, this combo is actually one of the oldest rods that I have in my arsenal that I have owned. So this is the first generation Gen 1 Abu Garcia Villain rod. So I've had this since they first came out in 2012. It's my oldest rod I have in my arsenal. This one is a 7-foot 1-inch medium. And if you guys know anything about Abu Garcia, you know that this is typically going to fish more like a medium heavy to a medium. So the reason I like fishing this rod is because it's got a really stiffer backbone than most mediums do, but it has the soft tip like a normal medium would. I have this paired on a 13 Fishing Concept Z. This again is a 6:6 to 1 gear ratio. And what I use this is for my lipless crankbaits or swim jigs. Typically though, it's 99% of the time going to be lipless crankbaits with this. It's got 12-pound fluorocarbon just because typically I like to use a little bit heavier line for my lipless crankbaits, just because the type of cover that I fish those with, I like a little bit of a thicker line to help with the abrasion resistance. All right, we're going to go from my oldest combo to my newest combo. So my newest combo is the Arc Rods Randall Tharp, the Honey Badger series, and this one is his 7.4 moderate fast medium heavy B Hite rod. If you look at some of my previous videos, I did a review on this rod itself. I absolutely love this rod. I haven't been able to fish it, but just by the feel of it and being mostly fiberglass on this thing, it's like it feels old school crankbait rod for me. This is going to be for specifically my chatterbaits. So this one will always have a chatterbait hooked onto it. Being full fiberglass, the slower action with the moderate fast action on there, it's really going to allow me to drive and penetrate that hook into the fish's mouth. I think I'm going to need a lot more hookups with this combo. I actually have this combo paired with the Shimano SLX MGL 70 spool, and this has 10-pound fluorocarbon on it. And the reason for that is because not only am I going to use this for chatterbaits, but if I get caught in a situation where I'm throwing a lot of deep diving crankbaits, I can actually transition this into a deep diving crankbait rod if I need to. Just moving right along here, the next combo is actually one of my favorite combos, and it's actually one that I usually keep in my hand 9 out of 10 times versus anything else, and that is my drop shot combo. So with the drop shot combo, I have it on a 2500 spool Shimano Stratic, the CI4 Plus. The rod of choice is one that I built. It is a specific drop shot rod. I don't remember which MHX blank it is. For some reason, apparently I forgot to put the label on this when I finished it, but it is the drop shot specific blank from MHX. So being the drop shot blank, it's got a pretty decent backbone, but it's also got a really soft tip to help use the bait or help move the bait. If I'm not using this on a drop shot, I'm going to be using this one on the Ned rig as well, but those are usually the two things I'm using this for. It's either the drop shot or the Ned rig. All right, this next combo is actually another new combo for the year for me, and that one is the Arc Viper rod. So this one is 7.2 heavy powered with a it's a 7.2 heavy power with an extra fast action to it. I have this paired on a Abu Garcia Revo SX, and this has an 8:1 gear ratio. And this is going to be my frogging rod. So I perfectly just have this set up for frogging. It's got 50-pound braid on there. It's got a white braid. That'll probably get changed to a green braid before the season starts, but we'll see what the white does. I might keep it. I don't think line color really matters when it comes to fishing frogs top water. But I went with a little bit of a longer rod with a faster action than your typical, just so that you can get that penetration of those hooks quicker and get the hook up quicker. Hopefully we'll lose less bites this way. But this is another rod that I got brand new around Black Friday. Again, I'll link the video in the description where I go into a full-length review on the Viper series, just like I did that Randall Tharp series. The next rod I want to talk about, this one is my flipping and pitching setup, and that one is the Megabass Levante rod. It's their 7'2" pitch perfect pitch rod. So I don't know what the power is on this. I'm going to say probably heavy because the lure rating's 3/8 to 1 1/4 ounce. So we'll probably say that that's a heavy rod. Again, this is my flipping and pitching in light to moderate cover. I have it paired with the Diawa Tatula reel. This one is an 8-to-1 gear ratio, and we have 17-pound fluorocarbon on there. I typically try to flip and pitch with straight fluoro. If I can't because the cover's too heavy or too thick, then I have a different setup for that. But this one is my go-to flipping and pitching rod when I have to. That's the least popular technique to me. It's super boring. I hate it, but I live in Ohio, so I know I have to do it quite a bit. So this is my pitching rod if I'm flipping around docks, or if I'm flipping around maybe some rock cover, not something that's really going to tear up the line. This next rod is another new rod for me. It is another Arc Viper rod. This one is just a 7-foot medium heavy fast rod. So again, it's just a general all-purpose rod. I can throw pretty much anything I want on this rod, and that's what I paired it for. It's got a 7-to-1 gear ratio. It's the 13 Fishing Concept C. I never remember which concepts they are. Again, 12-pound fluorocarbon on there, specifically just because it's going to be a general purpose, do everything. I couldn't tell you what's going to be on here because I have no idea what I'll have tied on, and it'll change every time I go out there. But it's a great general purpose all-around rod. If you're someone that's limited on how many rods you can take, this would be my #1 choice for you to take because you can fish pretty much everything and anything on this combo. Moving right along here, the very next combo is again another general purpose do everything rod. I'm just going to beat this horse, I'm going to beat this drum. A lot of my rods are general purpose, and that's because I'm fishing a lot of different types of cover, and I don't really want to have 30, 40, or 50 combos with me. So if I can have a rod that can do 4 or 5 different things, I'm happy that way. This one is just in a spinning setup. This one is a Vexen, and this is their Pro Bass line of rods. This is a 7.2 medium heavy, or 7.2 medium heavy fast rod. I have it paired with the, I have it paired with the Shimano. This is the, I do have it paired with the Lew's Custom Pro Speed Spin. This is again another 3000 style spool that's got 10-pound braid on it, and then typically I'll throw a 2 to 3 foot leader of fluorocarbon on there. But again, it's another do everything rod. I can flip light baits with this. I can fish anything like such as like a spy bait or a Rapala shad wrap. That's what this is going to do. But again, it's just all around. If that very first combo I showed you, if that one has a shaky head on it, then this one's probably going to have a wacky rig on it, or this one will have ribbon tail on it. So I have a lot of rods that do the same thing, but that's because the same things they can do are 4 or 5 different things. This rod here, this rod was actually the very first rod I ever built, and if you ever see it in person, you can tell that I messed up a lot when I built this rod. This is another drop shot rod, but as you can see, I actually epoxied the foregrip to the blank, so when you go to spin the actual cap to keep your reel in place on the reel seat, it ripped. Just kind of what happened, learning curves, I guess. But this one here, I actually built this as homage to both my high school and my college. Indians, that's the high school I graduated from in 2008, and then Jackets is the college that I graduated from in 2012. It's just ironically that both schools' colors were purple and gold, so I thought if I'm going to build a rod, let's do a purple and gold theme to just pay homage to the schools that I attended and help me get the education that I did get. But if you want to know, this was built on the MHX DS822. It's their 610 medium light rod, and actually, while I think about it, that white drop shot rod is the same thing. So it's that DS822 blank, because now that I think about it, I actually bought the white rod to build the rod to replace this one because I broke it so much. But the amount of time and energy I've put into this rod, it's still usable, so I don't want to waste it. So this is again just a second drop shot rod I keep in my rod locker. So typically I'll have one of them rigged on drop shot, one of them rigged on Ned rig. That way I can fish both of them in a split second. And living in Northwest Ohio, most of the stuff that we fish are smallmouth, so it's going to be a drop shot or Ned rig 99% of the time anyway. So having both on the deck at all times helps me really well. This has the Daiwa Elixir. This is the 2000 size spool, and again, it's got 10-pound braid on there, and then typically we'll go into a fluorocarbon leader on there. This combo here, this one is probably my second oldest combo that I've ever had, and that one is a carrot stick combo. I know a lot of people right now gasp in shock because I have a carrot stick that I've had here for probably 10 years, yeah, probably around 8 to 10 years, and it's not broken. This one is a 7-foot heavy fast, so I use this one if I'm flipping and pitching into heavy cover. So this one has 65-pound braid on it. Sometimes I throw it on with a leader, sometimes I don't. Just depends on how thick the cover is. But that's what this is used for, is just flipping and pitching into heavy vegetation, or it's going to be flipped around lots of trees or tree stumps where I could get tangled up in it. That's what I use this for. It's got my second oldest reel that I own on it. This one is an Abu Garcia Revo STX, and this again is an 8-to-1 gear ratio with 65-pound braid. Really good flipping and pitching rod. I understand why carrot sticks aren't built anymore because the durability was absolutely terrible, but orange is my favorite color, so when they came out I had to buy them, and surprisingly I've owned 6 of them in my life and none of them broke on me. Unfortunately, I've sold off about the other 5 that I own, and this is the only one I still have left. But I mean, at the $100 price point, they were really good, but I also understand the reputation that they did have. This next combo is one of the biggest deals I've ever witnessed in my life, and actually probably not just in fishing, but just literally in my entire life. So that one is this 13 fishing combo. So this 13 fishing, this is the Generation 3 Envy Black. This one is a 7-foot 9-inch medium, or sorry, 7-foot 9-inch heavy cranking stick. So it's another composite stick. So it's graphite into fiberglass to really help with those crankbaits. So this rod is paired with the 13th Fishing, or the 1-3 Origin reel. This is a 6-6-to-1. It's got 10-pound fluorocarbon on it. And the reason that I say that this is the best deal I've ever witnessed in my life is, if you don't know, the Envy Black is a $300 rod, and the 1-3 Origin is an $80 reel. At the Columbus Fishing Expo this year, one of the vendors was running a deal, and I got this rod for $100 brand new, and I got the reel for $50 brand new with upgraded high-speed spool bearings in them already installed. So I actually bought the reel itself from High Speed Spool Bearings. They had 40 or 50 of these reels. They went in and they redid all of the bearings in them so that they have the high-speed ceramic bearings in them, and then sold them for $50. So this whole thing was around $150, and retail price would have been $400 to $450 if you add the rod, the reel, and the bearing kit. So I got like 75% off on this combo. Never used it yet, just got it over the winter, so I can't wait to get on the water and fish those deep cranks. This thing's going to be awesome. All right, this is the last combo I have in my arsenal this year, and I saved the best for last because it is my absolute favorite rod I have ever built. And actually, it's my favorite rod I have ever handled. So this is a custom built by me jerkbait rod. This is built on the American Tackle Bushido blank. It's a 6'8" medium, moderately fast action rod. So, the one thing that I absolutely love on this rod, and I built it specifically for this, is we got the full carbon fiber handle. We went with the carbon fiber exposed blanked reel seat, carbon fiber foregrip, and the entire rod itself is built on full carbon fiber. The whole rod with no reel on it weighs in at just 2.6 ounces. That's right, 2.6 ounces. It is the lightest rod that I've ever put in my hands. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm also out here with the Autism Anglers Foundation, so I went ahead and bought some gear from them so I could help support such a great cause. I got that on this reel here. I got this paired with the Abu Garcia Revo ALF rod. This has 10-pound monofilament on it. Actually, I lied. This has 8-pound monofilament on it. The reason it's got the 8-pound mono is because I like to fish this with jerk baits, but I also like to fish this on top water. So if this is going to be another one that kind of does double duties. In the mornings when that topwater bite's really on, it's going to have a walking bait or a popper, more likely a popper because I love those more. And then as that topwater bite fades and it moves into more of a deeper bite, I'll cut off the popper, I'll throw on a jerk bait, and then we're going jerking the rest of the day with this thing. But I love having this thing in my hand. It is the lightest reel or the lightest rod I've ever felt in my hands. Having the Revo ALF, which is a smaller compact reel by Abu Garcia on there, makes this entire combo so stupid light. I just absolutely love it. All right, guys, those are the 15 combos I plan to keep with me and fish all season. You know, I'm a fisherman. You know how we are with bait and the bait monkey. So I'm sure we're going to add some more rods and reels as the year goes on. But initially, that first event I got next month, it's going to be those 15 combos. What was your favorite combo from today's video? Let me know down in the comment. If you haven't already, please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. We're just trying to grow as much as we can. Until next time, I'll catch you on the water.